We don't need any special revelation. We don't need an angel to come down to us. We don't need any of that. The God of the universe loves us beyond measure and wants to be our friend. He desires to share with each of us a unique, unbreakable bond. This is First Things First, a devotional podcast where for 365 days, first thing each morning, we are going to be getting to know God better. We're going to be seeking His daily will for our lives and seeing how best we can seek first His kingdom. In short, we'll be putting first things first. Good morning, welcome to First Things First. I'm your host, Melissa Sewell, and today we're going to be beginning a series entitled Hearing God's Voice. We're going to be gleaning lessons from 1 Samuel in the Bible. In 1 Samuel, we're told the story of a woman who was barren. She prayed to God for a son. She was gifted with a little boy that she in return gave back to God. She sent him to live in the sanctuary with the priest Eli and his sons. Now Samuel, the name of the little boy, had to grow up in an environment where he had to function in a priestly role, assisting Eli, and he saw Eli's sons who lived contrary to what the requirements of a priest was. In 1 Samuel chapter 2 verses 18, we get an idea of the type of contrast that happened when we compare Eli's sons, Hophni and Phinehas, to Samuel. But Samuel, though he was only a boy, served the Lord. He wore a linen garment like that of a priest. That but contrasts Samuel, who served the Lord, to the young men who treated the Lord's offerings, we are told in verse 17, with contempt. So Samuel was in a position where he was told what to do clearly and he obeyed. He served the Lord. When it comes to hearing God's voice, sometimes there's this emphasis on having a special revelation that is personal to yourself. But God has given us general guidelines that should speak specifically, individually to each of us, and we should treat these instructions as such. And what we learn from Samuel at this stage, at this age in his life, is that he served as a stark contrast to Hophni and Phinehas, who were years older than him, but he obeyed the basics of his training. He obeyed the basic guidelines. He was obedient and he served. At this point of Samuel's life, though he would grow up to be a very powerful prophet, he wasn't given any special revelation of such. He just listened and obeyed the already established precepts of God. And that is what I want to leave with us today. Let us make it our duty. We have 66 books in the Word of God that are bursting at the seams with instructions, with guidance, with guidelines for us. Let us, like Samuel, serve the Lord and be obedient with the basic knowledge that we have. We don't need any special revelation. We don't need an angel to come down to us. We don't need any of that. We have enough in the Word of God. I think 2 Peter 1 verse 3 says that God has given us everything we need to live a godly life. No, we already have it. We already have it. And if we don't adhere to what we already have, if we don't explore what we already have and adhere to it, what more do we need? So as we try to hear God's voice, as we desire to hear from God, we don't have to go too far. Let's pick up our Bibles and read it. Pick up our Bibles and read it. That's my simple recommendation for today. And my song recommendation is His Voice by Claude Edwards or maybe Jimmy Swaggart. I'll link favorite renditions of that song in description box if you're interested. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to put first things first. Read the Word of God, obey Him, and serve the Lord as Samuel did.